This is an after-school program podcast.
Welcome to the Home Studio Hangout podcast, where we explore what it's like building, running, and working out of a home studio with your hosts, Joshua Matotek, Andrew Simmons, and many guests in different areas of the music industry.
Welcome back to the Home Studio Hangout podcast. My name is Andrew, one of your hosts. I'm here with my co-host, Joshua.
It's me, Josh.
He's back. As you can see, I got a new camera set up. I'm really happy about it. Like, I'm super stoked about it. It looks really good, and I'm like super proud of it. It ended up not being nearly as expensive as I was thinking it was going to be. And it does this nice little autofocus thing. Like it'll like focus on my hand or something. It's supposed to, at least. I don't know. Anyway.
It might have face tracking.
Yeah, you're right. Yep. It does.
Yeah,
it's facial tracking. That's what it is. Look at you knowing stuff.
I'm so smart. I worked at Best Buy in high school.
There you go. Yeah, dude. It's got facial tracking, so it doesn't track my hand whenever I put it in front of it. But yeah, I'm super stoked on that. Hopefully going to be doing some extra content stuff and some streaming things here and there. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Josh, what you been up to this last little bit?
I've just been vibing. I've been gearing up to quit my job, so I hope my boss doesn't listen to this. So yeah, I got this month and then next month, and then I'm a free man.
Heck yeah.
And by that I mean I'm just gonna go from working all day every day to working all day every day.
But different kind of working. We're planning to shift from selling cars all day every day to making music all day every day. That's a very big difference.
It's a massive difference. I'm ready this time. Like the first time I went freelance, I kind of got forced to. I was actually working at the same dealership, and then the general manager at the time just like cut my pay in half because he liked to mess with everybody's pay plans. And so I was like, I wasn't making a ton of money, but like for like a 20, I forget how old I was. I was like 20. I just turned 21. Mm-hmm. And so like for a 21-year-old kid who like didn't go to college or whatever, like I was making like probably like $45,000 a year, and like that was great, Yeah,
that's good money for anybody.
Yeah, and like 6 months in, he was just like, "All right, you're gonna make half now." And so I was like, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna pass." And so I went freelance, and that's whenever I kind of like dug myself into a hole working with all these metal bands. And so I'm just excited. Like this time around, I feel like I'm way more prepared. I actually know what I want to do.
Well, and you have a better plan. I feel like you know more people at this point. And
well, also like my brain is developed now.
much more, dude. It's crazy what a couple years will do for you, man.
Yeah, I was talking to Madeline, my girlfriend, about that, and like how like I literally feel like a human, while before like I still felt like a baby. Like like I was like barely
awesome.
Like, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
I don't know. I guess my brain just
Speaking
like,
of Maddie, dude, let's give a Home Studio Hangout congratulations to Maddie on her internship.
Yeah, so she just got with the Pittsburgh Steelers, which is very sick, and she's going to school for 3D animation and doing all that fun stuff, and she's just stoked to be back in sports after minor league got absorbed by major league.
So yeah, that's true. Are you telling me that you get free Steelers games now?
Maybe. I don't know.
You haven't even thought about that, have you?
Thankfully, all my friends have season tickets, or else they'd be hounding me right now. Which is just crazy to me that they do that. Like they like buy the tickets money. And then they buy the parking like every year, and then they like take a huge van down, or at least they used to. I don't know if they still do that. And then they'll like tailgate all day, and then they go into the game. And I just can't care that much about football. I went to one Steelers game because we got the tickets for free.
All you sports people, I love you. And Josh is a sports person. I am a sports person sometimes, but I can't do the all day tailgate like I don't. Please explain to me why that's a thing that everyone does. I don't understand it.
Okay, well, so whenever you grow up in a place like Pittsburgh, there's literally nothing else to do.
Well, dude, you gotta understand. I grew up here in Greenville when there was nothing to do, and all we had was Clemson football.
Yeah, right. So you definitely don't understand.
I've done it before. I just don't see the fun in it.
Yeah, I don't know, like whenever see hockey's different because it's not like a once a week thing. It's like a few times a week thing. You're typically going on a weeknight.
Yeah.
So like you really can't like go down and tailgate and all that.
Yeah.
They were tailgating the Pirates game 2 weeks ago, and I went to that and I showed up late as always. Yeah. And
that's what I do when I
yeah,
go to
it's just really not my thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, on that note, talking about new stuff and old stuff and moving and all that kind of thing, moving forward, me and Josh got a really cool opportunity. So I'll preface this. I kind of talked about it a little bit in an update I did whenever we missed a couple weeks. The reason we missed a couple weeks is because me and Josh were in Atlanta with our good friend, Lee Rouse, and our new friend, Justin, also AKA Saint Young, writing some music and writing some songs, and Rob was also there. Josh's friend Rob flew over, was also there doing some writing. It's from the group chat crew we always talk about. So, but it was a cool thing because me and Josh kind of went into it with two very different mindsets. So let's talk about it a little bit. Let's kind of dive into that. So the scenario is that me and Josh were being brought down to write some songs with an artist that they are going to pitch to a major. At least that's the idea. They're going to try to hype him up on socials. They want every song to hit because they can't afford to put out anything that's going to be a miss early in the career. Everything's got to hit hard. So,
bro, I don't know if we could talk about this.
I mean, I don't see why not.
I don't know. Like, do they want everybody? Do they want this out in the world? Like,
I mean, I don't think anybody crazy is going to be listening to this. So, Lee, if you're listening to this and you don't want me to say this, I'm sorry. I already said it. But basically, it's nothing different. Everybody knows that it happens. You know, it's a thing that happens all the time. Artists come down, we write a bunch of songs with people, and they kind of comb through it and they want them to hit. Me and Josh were part of the group of people that came down to help write with them in the Teddy Swims compound, which was very, very cool.
It was so cool.
It was really cool. So Josh, what was your kind of approach when you and Lee talked about it? You can kind of go into.
Yeah. So like whenever we did the episode with Lee, like we just so you guys get an idea. We did the podcast and then Drew logged off and then Lee and I talked for like another hour and a half afterwards. And we just kind of have like similar personalities. So like we like kind of clicked right away. We were texting back and forth and stuff afterwards. And then I was sending him some stuff and he was like, hey, take a listen to these songs. I'm working on them with a friend. Blah, blah, blah. So like I listened, like a lot of it I really liked. And so, we just kind of kept talking for probably like a week or two. And then he was like, hey, so here's the deal. Like we like the kind of stuff that you're doing. So like, why don't you send us over a bunch of songs? And so I did. And then they were like, okay, when can you come down here? And I was like, well, I'm supposed to go to Nashville next month, but I guess I'll go to Atlanta instead. So I bought a plane ticket and I flew down to Atlanta. And The idea is that we were going to go down, work on as many songs as humanly possible. So like me being the maniac I am, I'm a very fast writer now. Like it's something that I've been working towards for the past year with working full time is I'll come home and 2 nights a week I work from 9 a.m. until 8 p.m. So I'll come home and like I'll eat, I'll do my thing. And then like around like 9:30, 10 o'clock, I'll sit down and then I'll try to have a song finished by midnight. So then the next morning I decide whether or not it was good.
Yeah.
And so like I've gotten extremely fast with writing and just like building a track at the bare bones level just to like write to. And so I kind of went down there with the mindset of like, okay, like it's easy. It's game over. Like GG friends, we can all leave the chat now. We're about to have 10 songs done in 5 days, which did not happen at all.
No. It's not the structure, dude. That's not how it all works. But honestly, we got a lot done. Like you guys were there before I was, because I came down a couple days after you. But I mean, we finished a lot.
Yeah. Well, one thing is like they wanted us to be there while they cut the vocal, just to make sure that like the point is still going through, because like I just made a massive rant in the Matt Rad Discord about like my approach to writing and how I use like the dynamics and the performance of the vocal as a way to like further express my point. So like it was really cool like being there and being able to like kind of like take a role in the vocal production side of things. And so like I can't be mad about that at all. Because I wasn't expecting that at all. Like we sat down, like we talked for a bit and I was like, okay, well, like there's like 3 studios at this place. So like I went into the one room that was just like a set of speakers and a microphone and I set up and I just started going through song ideas and like sending them back and forth. And like the first one I pulled up, like they listened to it and they're like, okay, yeah, we're going to do that one. And I was like, really? like right now? And they're like, yeah, it's fine how it is. And so like, just printed off stems, handed them over, and then we just started diving into it.
And then Lee was a genius, absolute monster.
Yeah, like you weren't there for the first 2 songs, but
no, but I saw what he could do as far as turning your stems into fully realized versions of your stems. Yeah, very quickly.
It's really cool because like whenever I'm writing, like the only things I really care about are like the percussion. The chords can be whatever. Like I'll often just like make a sample and just like loop it and then change the pitch up an octave and down an octave, have it where it's at for the verse, put it down for the pre and then put it up for the chorus. And like, that's just how I write, just so it's like different. Cause I feel like whenever you write a song in like this super minimal aspect, like if it kind of hits you, then that like whenever it's built out, it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
But I'm very particular about my percussion. So like it was really cool just like having everything I'm good at be what they needed and then like everything I wasn't good at like they were able to do. So it was like really, really cool seeing that happen. And then it was also really cool like having a fantastic vocalist who could just like do everything that I was trying to do.
Dude,
in the demo
everything
vocals.
That we were like, hey, try this, and then he would kill it. He would nail it within like at least a take or two and get exactly the sound. So shout out Justin, dude. Freaking vocalist. Killing it.
Yeah, it was very fun. And so it was really cool just like, showing up, meeting a bunch of great people, like feeling at home and then like just doing what I'm best at and running with it. And then towards the end of the week, like, we kind of got into more like just the writing stuff, which was really, really cool. Cause, seeing like how Rob has like a super analytic like approach to writing that's like all about structure and stuff. It kind of like kept me in line whenever I would kind of fall off because I'm a very sloppy writer, like in the beginning stages of a song. And so it was really cool, like learning about like how I can make things better from the start. And then he was like blown away because like I had this beat and I was like, okay, we're going to write to this. And so Lee just like hands me a microphone and I'm sitting on the couch just like speaking gibberish into this microphone. And Rob's like, why are you doing that? That doesn't make any sense. Like whenever I'm writing, I just sit down and I like write a bunch of words. And then like 2 minutes later, he's like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
So it was really cool. Just like, you know, like I think the fastest way that you can learn is if you just like work with other people. So it was really cool, like picking up on
example of experience helped us grow exponentially fast. Like from the time that we arrived to the time that we left, I feel like we like 5x'd ourselves.
I feel like I just leveled up in D&D.
For real, dude. Big time. It's that level 3 level up where you get to pick your subclass, and your subclass is Songwriter.
Yeah, exactly. And so yeah, it was just really rewarding all around. And I'm excited to go back again and like keep pushing the envelope. And you know, I always kind of like I feel like the first time you work with somebody, it's never that great. But that was like incredible.
Yeah.
You know.
So from my perspective, I went into it a little differently. I feel like you went into it with a mindset of like, I'm going to bring everything that I possibly can.
Bro, I showed up with 30 songs.
Just throw like everything at the wall and whatever sticks, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know you were doing that. whatever. So I talked to Lee. You mentioned that you were coming down. I was like, oh, dope. And then and then Lee texted me and was like, hey, you want to come down, hang out with me and Josh and his friend Rob and Justin? And I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, sounds fine. I can only be there for like 3 days, I think is what I ended up being there. 3 or 4 days. Because I had a rehearsal on Sunday. So I came down kind of in a little more of a producer role, even though Lee was very much the producer in this scenario. I came down just trying to catch a vibe, right? Like I wasn't sure what the scenario was going to be as far as the dynamic between who was writing, who was producing, were you guys making. I didn't know you were bringing a bunch of tracks. I thought they might have already had stuff, or I didn't know if they were. I've been in situations where you write stuff on the spot, you know, which I think you did that some, but I wasn't 100% sure what to expect. So I kind of came down with I'm just going to walk in, examine the scenario, and then do as much as I can to enhance whatever's already there as much as possible. I think that was, I mean, I think I did that, you know. I came in, I was like, that's a little weird. This could probably change. If we needed a piano part played, I played it.
The thing is, though, it's like nobody in that room was actually like spectacular at like synthesis and like that sort of thing. So like if we heard a sound in our head, like you were able to be like, oh yeah, and then you just like made
this,
it.
this, and then
Yeah.
I did that with a vocal part. That turned out really, really cool. For a song, and then and for a song that we actually finished up after the fact, I ended up adding a bunch of guitars and some ARP synths and crazy little like transitional things.
The only thing that they kept from me were my hi-hats. I'm just a hi-hat guy now.
I think he kept all of the stuff that I sent him. Maybe I wrote a tapping guitar part. I'm surprised he kept that one actually. It was super like Circus Survivey, like post rock kind of tapping, but it sounded really cool in the mix.
See, I'm like such a bummer, dude. Like any song that someone sends me, I'm like, what are the saddest sounds I could possibly put in here?
I mean, I wrote some pretty sad sounds, but that little. The happiest one was that transitional synth, that boom, doom, 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 like going in the second verse.
That was crazy.
It was cool. But yeah, that was kind of like my approach was, I think this is like 2 really good scenarios for people to kind of pull from, which is like sometimes you need to be the guy that is more of the Josh in this situation where you're coming overly prepared. You're bringing everything, right? And sometimes you just need to kind of be more of what I was. And I guess it's probably songwriter versus producer is a little bit, but it's not necessarily. Sometimes you need to be the guy that's going to come in and then just, especially people that have already established their work, like what they're doing, come in and just catch their vibe and then enhance it in whatever way you feel like you can.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that like it's all about just being best at what you're best at, you know?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Like honing in on what you're extremely good at and then just doing that thing.
And something that Rob and I were talking about, because like Rob and I are complete opposites, so like we were like ready to punch each other a few times. And so like on the last night, like we decided like we were so tired that we realized we were probably going to sleep through our alarms and like miss our flight. So like we just stayed up all night and all we did was just talk and talk and talk. And it was really cool, like having that extra perspective of everything, where it's like, oh, well, now I understand why, like, you looked like you were about to shoot me whenever I said this.
Yeah,
and like,
yeah.
you know, and like, I think it's just about like not having an ego and like understanding that like, okay, well, nobody here is like better than me at doing drums. So like, yeah, I'm always going to speak up about the drums because they trust me, you know? And, yeah, like I think you just have to like find that balance.
Well, and like be willing to be wrong. I think that was a big part of it that we learned is like, it's cool to just shoot an idea out there. And if we don't use it, that's cool. And if they use it, that's also cool.
And like, it's also okay to like, for everybody to screw up. Like I like, there was one song that actually sparked my rant in the Matt Rad Discord, because like my rough was like a very like symmetrical first half of the chorus, and then the second half kind of went off the rails. But in the context of the song, it made sense because the performance kind of expresses what I'm talking about, you know? And in the moment, nobody understood what I was talking about. Yeah. Everyone was like, no, dude, that makes no sense. Like, we need to make it like perfectly symmetrical and like easy to listen to. And I was like, but now there's no like arc to the song. Now there's no high point to fall down to, you know? And like nobody was getting it. And so like, I just gave up and like, we did it. And like, I helped them work through it to make it how they wanted it. Yeah. And then like, we all went home and then we were all like, yo, this kind of sucks. You know, so that's something that we're going to have to redo. And, yeah, I mean, I could talk about like the art of like writing for hours and hours and hours, because it's something I obsess over.
I think we'll do an art of writing, and I'll just kind of pick your brain on your approach soon.
Yeah,
I think that would be super fun.
That would be a lot of fun. Cause like, I just think that, you know, there's a lot of like little details that like some people just don't get if you say them. You know, like sometimes people just have to sit on it and be like, yeah, I don't feel that thing anymore. You know?
Or
like my brother describes it as like, you know, like the Italian hand.
Yeah.
Like he says that there's no this in a song.
There's no Italian hand in the song.
Because like, he was like, how can you tell if a song's good or not?
You know and I went, is?
Oh, well, it's it just has
literally the sauce.
Yeah, it's literally the sauce. And so like, I looked at him and I was like, you know, it just kind of like, and I did the Italian hand, and he said that has stuck with him since, because now he always knows whenever a song earns the Italian hand. And it's That's so amazing. Funny. And so he's like, I only send you songs that like, you know, I can do the Italian hand to, and they're always great songs.
There you go, dude.
Like everybody knows what a great song is. It's just like nobody can really describe it. And so
it's like a gut feeling. It's very much a gut feeling. Yeah. And I feel like something that me and you did level up in this scenario, trusting our gut. Man, I feel so much more confident in the sense of like trusting my sense of sound design and melody when it comes to synth writing, or like making patches or textural things. Like I feel much more confident in that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, dude. Like I feel like as far as like writing goes, like I know whenever I'm right and I know whenever I'm wrong also. You know what I mean? And like I think that like that self-awareness is like super invaluable, because like like it just kind of, it helps you work faster.
For sure.
It helps other people trust you. You're able to then trust other people too, because you're immediately able to say like, yeah, that's the right thing. Like I like whenever we started writing the one song, like Lee was like, hey, I have a quick idea, and it was just like this super like vacant sounding like verse.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah, and I was just like he did it, and I was like, that's genius. And everyone was like,
dude, it was perfect. As soon as he did it, I was like, man, that's it. I was like, I don't know what the lyrics are, but that's it.
Yeah, and then like the other two guys in the room were like, wait, are you serious? Like, you want to keep that? And I was like, yes, that's it. Like,
that's the move.
That's it. That's it. That's it.
It just needed a couple. It needed a couple things around it, man.
Yeah, and like I think yeah, like I don't know. I feel like I'm just like it just kind of like affirmed and validated like all my like super self-conscious like egotistical thoughts. Like, am I really a good writer? Like, do I really know what's great? Like, you know?
Yeah.
But like having those moments where like somebody does the most simplest thing of the day and I'm like, no, that's brilliant.
That's it.
You know?
That's
and then
the
to me, like that's my favorite part of the song now.
For sure.
You know?
For sure.
So
no, I think we learned a lot from that trip. I think it was a good trip. Guys, the world is kind of back opened up. Go write with somebody.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
it's huge, man.
By the time this comes out, like everything's gonna be shut down again. But like,
I mean, maybe, maybe not. We don't know. We don't know. I can't tell the future. But no, I think the world, at least the world's open for now. Get vaccinated, wear a mask, go freaking write some dope songs with people, man. Go do it. That's the best way to learn, is to just go do the thing. As far as like songwriting goes, writing with people, like you said, man, easy level up. Easy level up.
Yeah, it was double XP weekend.
Yeah, for triple XP weekend, for sure. We're gonna go back and do it again soon. Well, yeah, I just wanted to hop on and maybe talk about that a little bit, get an update from us. Josh, thanks for coming to the podcast episode today.
Always, my dude.
It's a shorty but a goodie. And people listening, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Subscribe if you haven't. Follow Josh. Josh, you redid your your handle, but it's
I've been wanting to change my main account over to Josh Writes Songs for like 3 months now. But then you can't just like get rid of one username and then switch the other, because there's like a 30-day grace period.
Yeah.
So right now, my username on Instagram is Josh Writes Songs with 3 S's at the end. But
eventually
on September 10th, it's going to be Josh Writes Songs with 1 S.
Cool. Up until they can pretty much just search your name and it'll come up.
Yeah, you can just search my name.
JOSH space MATOTEK.
Yeah. That's my name.
Yup. Follow me, Music by Drew, DRU, or Andrew Simmons if you just want to look me up. And the Instagram for the podcast, at Home Studio Hangout on Instagram. And I don't really know where else we are on that, but mainly Instagram. We don't really try to go anywhere outside of Instagram.
Just follow me on Instagram and TikTok, and like,
dude.
I'm probably gonna delete my Facebook soon anyway.
Yeah, dude. We'll just live on 2 platforms and double down on them. But yeah, thanks so much for coming and hanging out with us today, viewer and listener. Go write a song. Go, if you don't have somebody to write with, find someone, and yeah. Keep on creating. See you next time.